I fucking hit my, like, so the drawer wasn't pushed all the way in. And like I hit my head on the knob of the drawer.
Yeah.
And I was like, motherfuck. But when I did that, it knocked over something on the dresser, which hit something on a shelf adjacent, and a bowling ball that I had on the shelf adjacent fell and hit me right in the foot.
Wait, a bowl? Yeah. You knock shit loose and a bowling ball hit you? Would you get caught under a fucking a cage falls down on you while you're trying to get a big,
exactly.
big
Like,
thing of cheese with holes in it?
Dude, that's gotta be a fucking thing.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's gotta be a fucking thing. It's just like, you know, like just hitting your head on something and then be like, fuck, it knocked the back of my goddamn head. And then you just hear like cling, 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 cling. And then all of a sudden a bowling ball hit me in the foot. And I was the maddest I'd ever been.
Dude, that's crazy.
I was like, what the fuck? But it's like one of those things where after it happened, I was like, man, I had that thing where I'm like, I wonder if I could set this up again. Like, I was like, I wonder if I could set this up.
I wonder if there's anyone else I could mouse trap.
And I would just be like, yo, hey, babe, go in there and tie your shoe, you fucking idiot. Maybe I like just placing her shoes by the dresser, like she'll fall right into this. But like, again, we were talking about how apparently in all 50 states, it's illegal to booby trap your house. And you and Danny had seen that video about the guy. I guess it was like a house getting like, you know, there was a police seizure. There people were cleaning it out and they found on the stairs the fucking thing that swung down with the knife on it. And you were saying that you wouldn't want to live in a house like that? Like after they did it, you'd never feel comfortable?
No, I feel like there's always one more booby trap that I didn't find that was just gonna fucking murk me hard. There's always gonna be like fucking one.
I mean, but isn't that, look, and what I was saying, when I said I would want to live in that house, you're like, why? Is that what you want to die? Dude, if I died via booby trap, come on.
That would be.
How many friends do we know? How many people we know is like, what happened? Oh, car accident? Boo. Drugs? Gay. What? Whatever. But like, you're sitting there, it's like, yo, how did Shaner go? I was like, oh, so apparently he rented this house.
So apparently there was this little kid in his house before him. He set up all his jacks and
Shader just did not see them at the top of the stairs. And he fell down. And at the bottom of the stairs, there was just a rug with a hole underneath it that he kept walking over.
Yeah, right.
How the fuck did he keep walking over that hole for so many years? And at the bottom, there was a fucking live lion. He didn't hear it.
He lived in that house. He lived in that house for 10 years.
In that house?
I don't know who fed the lion.
Dude.
I don't know how that lion got fed. But that lion, and he never woke him up or nothing.
No, no smell. He didn't notice a fucking lion smell. And he rented. He rented. He never called the landlord like that. I got to be honest with you. I wake up in the morning. I swear to God, I smell the savannah in my house. I smell, got to be honest with you, smell wild animals in here. It's just never... It's never fucking, it doesn't bother me, but my girlfriend, she's a real bitch, you know, she's fucking complaining. We smell cat piss everywhere.
I just thought it was the neighbor's golden retriever.
Yeah, I thought, you know, it's like every now and again, I was like, baby, we live in the city.
Sometimes
you're going to hear shit.
Sometimes they don't clean up after him. Golden retriever smells like the savannah.
We're renting, baby. We're renting.
I just don't want to be a problem. That's like the epitome of not trying to be a problem. Oh my
God, dude. That is exactly how it would be. I would never. I gotta be honest with you. I barely call my landlord when there's like, unless it's like a problem I can't fix.
Yeah.
I rarely ever call him. And I gotta be honest with you. If I was in my house and there was a live animal in it, I would just be like, I guess I got this fucking bird in here. I guess I'll get him out somehow, or it'll come and go.
How do you deal with that?
What do you mean?
Just like go to even more practical. You like go to the basement or whatever. It's just like a lion.
Wait, are you asking?
You're like,
how do you deal with a live lion?
What do I do? It'd be so funny too if you were just like putting away groceries and you're putting away like paper towels or whatever down there, or whatever you store in the basement. I haven't had a basement.
Yeah,
in a while.
it's just, whatever
Sorry,
you put down there.
I've been down bad.
Groceries in the basement.
I've been down, but no, you know what it was? I just saw fucking Barbarian, and there was a scene.
Oh,
There was a scene where the chick's like, "There's no more toilet paper. Gonna go down to the basement to get my toilet paper."
That is not where I put toilet paper.
That movie rules.
That movie is great.
It's just a lady making dumb fucking decisions.
Yeah, one after another, after another, after another.
The funny part, and I'm not gonna spoil it because it's a good ass fucking movie, but like, there's a part early in the movie where she goes to this Airbnb, and then in the morning she realizes she's in the worst part of Detroit.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. If you're getting an Airbnb in Detroit, you've already made a bad decision.
It's like
you've already made it.
Yeah, dude, skip me on a scary basement. You started off with Detroit.
Yeah.
No, because she leaves the house in the morning, and it's just a nice ass house surrounded by torn down buildings, and she's like,
the first red flag would have been when she was, one, it is Detroit, and two, when she's driving down the street, there's no street lights. Yeah. That would have been the first, like, I don't know if I want to stay at this Airbnb, this nice, pristine little cottage.
Because that's not weird.
Not at all.
That's not weird as hell that there's just a super fucking nice ass Airbnb in the middle of, like, squalor. Like,
but then again,
squalor.
I will say, in Detroit's defense, that is kind of how Philadelphia is a lot of the time.
No, I remember I was doing
a lot of the time.
What the hell? Me and Lemaire did fucking Matt and Shane forever ago when Shane was, I think he was doing shows in Australia or whatever the fuck. It was like me, Lemaire, and Matt, and I fucking go pick, because Lemaire used to live, you know how like in fucking Temple?
Yeah.
You go like one block
Temple's
off Temple.
An island and in a sea of diarrhea.
And you're like,
is what
oh my
that
God.
Is. Yeah.
Lemaire used to live over there, and I go to pick him up, and I've never seen that area of Philly in the daytime. And I'm just like looking around like, my God.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, there's like buildings that you're like, I have no fucking clue how that's standing up.
And that is the funniest part about Philadelphia. It's scarier with the lights on. That is that's the funniest part. Is like at night, you don't, it's like, yeah, there's mystery. There's mystery to it at night. Yeah, you might get robbed. Yeah, you might get stabbed. Yeah, you might see a junkie or two. Yeah, you're going to be in shit. But in the daytime, it's in your face.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot ignore it.
That's such a good fucking point. It's 1,000% scarier in the daytime.
Without a doubt. And it's like you try in your head to be like,
And then you drive by and you see people like casually walking down the street, and then you start to look at those people and you go, oh, you're used to this.
Yeah.
And you know, it's understandable. That's where they fucking live. But then you're just like, oh no, what is your day to day?
You know what?
You're a warrior.
You know
You're a goddamn warrior.
They're like gladiators.
You've brought yourself to this mental state where you can just walk down that street and just be like, I'm chilling, dude.
Dude, there's one guy.
That's what they should do. You see that show on fucking Netflix where it's just like 100 Jack Koreans fighting each other? I forget what the fuck it was, but they should just do that with. I
hope that's the name of the show.
They should do that with Philly people on the lower rung of the economic system. Just
have fucking the worst of the worst fighting each other?
Yeah, dude, because they could definitely... dude, I'm sorry, but if you could walk down some of these streets in Philly without flinching, you could go on any fucking how tough are you competition.
Wild would it be if we built a fucking coliseum around the Free Needle Exchange? How fucking sick would that be?
That would be fucking sick, dude.
Dude.
That's how they get their methadone.
There's a guy with a mask, but when he puts it down, it's teardrop tattoos instead of like engraved on the mask.
Dude, I've said this.
Those who are about to shoot up, we salute you.
Dude, there's parts of Philly that are so fucked up. There are whole YouTube channels dedicated to a guy. No, but it's not like a well-made documentary or nothing. The guy's YouTube channel is, I'm gonna go walk down Kensington Ave. That's all. His whole YouTube channel is, I'm gonna go walk this way and see if I die.
In my head, but that's our jungle.
Yeah.
But that's where you want to wonder, like, what are the apex predators there?
Dude, I want to see.
You know?
I want to see who works at that Cricket Wireless on Kensington.
Dude, it's the hardest motherfucker
It's
you've probably
gotta be.
ever
Who the
seen in your
fuck's
life.
gonna go there? They gotta fight 17 heroin addicts to be like, I need a fucking cheap ass cell phone real quick. I need this cell phone so bad.
So bad.
I need this cell phone so fucking bad.
That's how you know you need communication. You don't go to a T-Mobile in Center City. It's like, no, man, I need it now. I need to get my Boost mobile phones. Like, where? K and A.
Bro,
Fuck.
it's a city with public transit.
No, dude.
But no, I need to go to that Cricket Wireless.
That's like, you know how like that there's that show where it's like where they put the little like, you know, Japanese children on public transportation, like they're old enough to go by themselves. That's how you test someone's mettle.
That would be that would be a whole fucking show. You take people from the Midwest and you drop them off in Kensington and you go buy a cell phone at the Cricket Wireless.
All you have to do is buy a cell phone.
It's literally, the show's called Buy a Cell Phone on Kensington. I wouldn't. Dude, I looked up. Oh my God.
Dude,
Yeah,
I wish there was a fucking place called Life or Death Cellular in fucking Kensington. Would be sick as fuck. Just like making it a whole thing. It's like, yeah, dude, it's the hardest place to get service.
I would consider it if they didn't give you, because they always trick you when you go to get a cell phone, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, I don't have to. It's monthly, so I just gotta give them like $30 today or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you gotta pay the tax on this expensive ass cell phone. Give us $300, and you're like, God damn it!
It's like you're paying for property, motherfucker.
I forgot about that part.
It's like, what's your insurance on this? They just slide you a Derringer. It's like, there it is. This is the End Podcast. I am Ryan Shaner. Thank you for being here. I have with me one of the hosts of the Panties in the Mouth podcast, Andy Malafarina.
Hey,
thank you for being here.
Thanks
man.
for fucking having me
Dude.
today. I was excited.
I'm glad you were.
I've been, you know, you guys got top notch setup here. You guys,
This is great.
You're killing it with clips, and it's a good looking pod. I was very excited when you hit me up, bro. I was like at the gym, and I was like, my workout must have been going well, because I know you're jacked. Like you're jacked. You're in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
I think you could sense it.
I mean, I
could sense I was having a good workout.
you know,
What?
dude, it's funny you say that. So there's this friend of mine. Every time I text her every now and again, and when
Dude,
I do,
I'm sorry. I gotta sit like this because my balls are huge and this chair is tight. And I'm so afraid of having. You ever see that picture of Brendan Schaub having the bussy?
oh no,
Dude, Brendan Schaub, he's a great looking man. He looks good in some tight pants, but he was on a little ass chair with like the tight ass pants, and I'm so afraid I'm fucking. That's why I keep grabbing my
no,
shit.
you can grab your shit all you want, dude.
Okay.
Grab them.
All right.
Grab your shit. I thought you were gonna say that fucking. Did you see that video? And like, it is one of my favorite videos online of the old man. He's like, got to be 70 or 80, and he's like readjusting in a chair, and he sits down. he goes, like he sat on his balls.
I've done that before.
Dude, sitting on your balls is
Bro, I've
worst.
It's the worst because I'm being a silly goose because we're on a podcast. But like I do have some large balls.
Now, when you say
And-
large balls, what would you compare? Like in size comparison?
Like okay, size comparison.
So like, are we talking like nectarine? Are we talking like apricot?
Probably like a small avocado.
Small?
No, that's too big.
That's too big.
I just bought them yesterday. That's too big.
Yeah.
That's when I need to go to the doctor.
If you were holding up an avocado, like that looks like my fucking ball, dude.
Like, you ever
I would
see-
be like, yeah,
You ever see like when a kid gets like a jawbreaker
sure.
and it's like
Oh, the extra
there's
large
always
ones?
like the extra large about that.
Yeah. Oh man.
About that. I got
both of them.
Yeah, they're big, dude. One's a little bit bigger.
Jesus.
One's a little bit bigger. It's like when you see the fucking Rocky Mountain oysters at some like Texas bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my guys.
Damn, dude.
And dude, like one time I was getting out of the car and I was like, because I'm slowly trying to get in shape, but I've been a big fat piece of shit my whole life, and I was like, geez, through that I was just not standing up out of the car, just sliding out of the car.
Yeah, dude.
And I was going out, but my balls were like, we're staying here.
You know what would be-
and I just sat on my balls. It hurt so fucking bad.
You know who would be funny? Like, you know, sometimes when chicks lose weight, they just lose weight in their titties, and they're all pissed off that they lost. Like, if you lost ball weight, How pissed would you be if you're like doing all these workouts and getting all fucking, and then you find out only your balls lost weight, only your balls got in shape. You're like, fuck, I lost all this testicle weight.
You can't spot train your nutsack.
No, you have no idea. Dude, if you were at a Planet Fitness with like a fucking thing around your dick and you're just pulling, just like, what do you do? It's like, my balls are a little portly. I gotta be honest with you.
I need to get my balls a little leaner.
I have some chubby balls. My balls are not beach ready. I need my balls ready for Cancun. I gotta be honest.
My balls, they kind of been spending too much time inside playing Fortnite.
Yeah, my balls.
Doritos.
My balls are pasty. They love fucking Code Red. My balls are not ready for to be out. Yeah. Like, and that's the funny thing. I don't really have like, I would never say I have big balls. I have like, I in my head I have normal sized balls, but I've never seen. I'm trying to think of the last.
I can just feel it like when I piss. Like when you take your dick out and you kind of like, cause I got like a mini soft dick. Like when I need to fuck, it gets bigger, and it's
so you're a grower, not a shower.
Exactly, and I got a good moderate sized penis. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy, just
fucking standard, baby.
But yeah, exactly. When you fuck it, it's the fucking first thing you get when you get into create a character.
It's the only thing. Like, that's pretty good.
It's not the most flashy, but it will do the job when you play the game.
Dude, it's a fucking M4 of dicks. It's what they give you.
So when I'm a little bit of a bigger boy, so sometimes you gotta shake the prairie dog out when you fucking go to piss, and I can just feel it. Like I can feel when I like shake my balls too. I'm like, they're heavier. Man. They're heavier than they should be.
Man, they're heavy. Now, have you gone to a doctor about this?
One time, because I was
one time.
I had a.
that was the best response. If you go to a doctor one time.
I had a girlfriend in college. I had a girlfriend in college, and we were, I think we were like fucking a little bit more than normal at the time, and I remember my balls were just like sore. Mm-hmm. My balls were very sore, and I got worried that I was getting like a hernia or something. So I went to that's the one?
No, I mean,
what's the one Weird Al wrote the song about? Living with a hernia?
That's living with a hernia.
That's down there.
Al wrote the song. He wrote the ballad.
When I talk, it sounds retarded, but I'm right about
everything. No, you're not wrong. I'm not making fun of you because you're wrong. What I am saying is I've never heard someone like, what's the song Weird Al wrote about?
Oh, dude, I'm one of those.
My balls right now.
Oh, dude, I'm one of those retarded kids who's like, I listen to normal songs. I was like, this motherfucker's ripping off Weird Al.
Dude, I was
one of those kids growing up, dude. Weird Al, I listened to Weird Al more than regular music when I was a little kid.
I can relate in the fact that, so for the longest time, I'm a huge, when people talk about fucking Star Wars, and I don't have an affinity for it like some people lose their mind over that whole thing.
I'm just a fan of the games. The movies, I can take or leave the movies.
Well, games are good because you can just do whatever the fuck you want in the games. You can rewrite Star Wars if you fucking wanted to.
Well, like Battlefront blew my mind.
Yeah, I bet it did.
I remember Battlefront was so fucking sick. Because that's the part you want to do where you're like, oh yeah, what's it like in the fucking battle?
Yeah. The only time I liked Star Wars, to tell you the truth, was a Sega 32X game, which was you were flying an X-Wing the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking sick. It's a fucking great game.
Yeah.
But for the longest time when I would talk about Star Wars, I'm like, I don't really give a shit about Star Wars. Like, you don't care about Star Wars? And the reason I don't is because I saw Spaceballs first. When you're 7 years old and you don't even know Star Wars exists, you just see a movie. I saw Spaceballs first. I'm like, this is great. And like, I didn't even get half the jokes. I didn't even know it was a spoof.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I was just like, this is fucking wild and goofy, and I don't even get it. And then I saw Star Wars later in life, and I honestly thought Star Wars was the spoof. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, who the fuck is this Luke Skywalker character? Who's this guy? I know what like fucking Han Solo's he's supposed to be Lone Star, I guess. I don't understand.
You're like, who are these cheap remakes?
Yeah, dude, I honestly was like, what the fuck is this? This is stupid as shit.
That's so funny.
I was so mad, and that followed me for like a long time because I still don't really, don't get me wrong, A New Hope is a good movie.
Yeah.
Episode 4 is a good movie, but like I don't give a fuck where people get fucking fanatical about shit.
Well, and I also too, for me with like Star Wars, my whole perspective on it is skewed because like my big introduction was the first three in the saga, the first three. So like with Anakin and all that. And
you were Phantom Menace.
Well, because I was a little kid.
Yeah,
and I was, dude, like at my age, I'm like, there's nothing cooler than fucking pod racers.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I remember I got those ads. I got them. My parents hooked me up with the pod racer Legos. I got the pod racer video game for N64. I was like, there's nothing cooler than this. And then I hear all these old people being like, those movies stink. Jar Jar's dumb. I was like, who the fuck are you talking about? How you talk about Jar Jar like that?
Yeah.
But then I will say,
you fucking piece of shit.
Oh, you coming at my boy Jar Jar? Yeah, no.
Dude, the best part about people talking shit on Jar Jar now is people. I remember when they started to be like, Jar Jar's terrible. People like, you're racist. You are racist. Because people were saying that Jar Jar was racist because he's like a caricature of like a Caribbean.
Like a super,
they're like, he's like, why would you do this to the Caribbean people? How could you make this alien such a fucking caricature of Caribbean people?
I know they kind of did that in Harry Potter. Didn't like Star Wars have a moment where they were like these alien bankers and they're like, all right, you're gonna have to deposit your money over here. You're like, the fuck is that, guys? I don't have firsthand memory of it, but I remember seeing something on Twitter or like an article where they were like, yeah, these aliens are Jews.
Yeah, it's like, no, they're cosmic Hebrews. It's different. It's different. Just let them go.
Why is his last name Bleeplorpstein?
Bleeplorpstein. That would be so crazy if you just hear fucking Han Solo's like, dude, I can't believe the Bleeplorpsteins will not let me go longer on this lease. They are fucking me up with this Falcon. It's like, what's the problem? It's like, they won't let me go, man.
You're like, who controls the universe.
You know who controls fucking Darth's media. You know that, right? Yeah. The Empire is definitely, I don't want to get crazy here. But that was also, that's funny. Because even in Spaceballs, the druids, they were like, there's many, many jokes where they're like, she doesn't look Druish, which is fucking great. That's Mel Brooks. Just crushing it.
Dude, there's some Mel Brooks jokes where it's like the epitome of an awful dad joke. And then there's other jokes where they're just like, all right, this guy's going to say the N-word.
Oh, yeah.
Like the range.
And you have to.
The range.
And you have to.
And it's your duty.
It's like, no! You better fucking say it. Because that's also part of the Kensington thing. To get a cell phone, you have to go get a cell phone, and then you have to, like, under your breath say the N-word, and then you see if you survive.
That has to be your cell phone password, the N-word.
Yeah. Oh man. Dude, that's fucking hardball. Dude, that would also be a contest. Put a Lamborghini in Kensington, and the only way you can get it the only way to unlock it is screaming the N-word, and then you get in it.
Oh, dude, that was one of the best bits. You ever see that movie, Kentucky Fried Movie?
Oh my God, where they talk about the Daredevil?
Oh, dude, that's when I realized. Because, shout out to my dad. Because, like, my dad, like, if you meet him, he's a real... Like he's a great dude, but
I thought you were gonna say he's a real N-word. I was like, dude, if you drop that, I'm like, this is not bad.
People, I'm like, what is his nickname? It's his nickname the whole time.
Sorry,
no, it's not offensive. It's his nickname.
Look, he was overseas. They just assigned him that. That was his call sign in fucking Top Gun.
No, my dad's like, if you meet him, he's like, he works in IT. He's like a real vanilla type of dude. Yeah. Nice guy, but he's like a vanilla dude. But he always has these moments where like my dad's the type of guy, he'll watch Big Bang Theory and lose his fucking shit. Like that, he'll lose his goddamn mind. But then he's also a huge fan of, I forget the fucking name of it, but he's like this huge fan of this obscure samurai blind swordsman series that you have to go on like eBay to like buy the DVDs because you can't stream. Yeah, that, like he's a weird combo with that shit.
That's how you know your dad got super high one night. That's how you know when your mom or dad are like, they're very cookie cutter with what they watch, and then one out of nowhere they're like, so yeah, I found this samurai series. Like, you got fucking boned one night.
So because of that, I remember my dad would show me, like, he showed me Blazing Saddles super young.
Yeah,
he showed me
as they do.
You should though. It's like,
dude, I got showed so many movies as a child that, like, looking back, like, I don't know if that was good parenting or bad parenting.
Yeah.
You don't really know if this is the way. Like, my mom, again, she loved fucking soap operas.
Yeah.
So when she came home, or when she wasn't home, she was watching TV, it was all soap operas. However, in 1991, Silence of the Lambs comes out.
yeah,
Now, Silence of the Lambs is not a children's movie.
not at all.
At all. But my mom thought it was so well acted and well done. She's like, it was a book. If it was a fucking movie that was based on like a nice novel that she had read, she's like, it's fine for children. But I remember I watched Silence of the Lambs with my mom, like, this is out of control. It's like, I don't know if this is good parenting.
Oh, dude,
but
that reminded. Wait, I want to make my point about Kentucky Fried Movie,
yes.
but I don't want to forget. Remind me about Trish Stratus, because I was just thinking about this thing with Trish Stratus the other day, and it made me question like what I would do in a parent moment.
I was gonna say, dude, where we are now and where Trish Stratus is, that is off the stratosphere, dude.
I get, the Kentucky Fried Movie thing was like, where he's being the daredevil.
Yeah.
And it's just a tiny little, he looks like fucking Rivers Cuomo, and he's wearing a flame suit or whatever the fuck you call it.
He looks like Evel Knievel.
And he looks like Evel Knievel with the helmet on, and he's supposed to be a daredevil, and he just walks into a group of like 6 black dudes playing dice and just screams the N-word and then runs away. And like, I understood.
It's
like,
so funny.
And it hit so many levels for me when I was a kid, because it was like, first off, like super offensive. That's, we're being naughty like that. But then like I understood it on a comedic level, and I remember being a little kid and I was like, this shit's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best.
It's so funny. It's beyond funny.
It's so, and dude, what was the one bit where it was like an enhancement for sex, and it's just was it like Steelers linebacker Big Jim Slade or whatever the fuck his name was, and it was just the male enhancement drug was a big black dude to fuck your wife.
To fuck your wife.
Yo, Kentucky Fried Movie,
dude, it's sick. If you haven't seen it, get the fuck on it. It is and it's also one of those movies that, again, everyone just like looks at it like, I guess it's whatever.
Yeah,
but it's the deep cuts. No, the deepest. So what about Trish Stratus?
So I saw this on Twitter, because like Trish Stratus was like at WrestleMania. She was wrestling with like Becky and Lita, and she's been on the show for like the past month or so. Excuse me. So this like old picture, like this old poster that WWE used to sell, and it was like one of the hot chick poses where she's like on her stomach looking up, and she's pushing up her ass.
Yeah.
So you can see it behind, and like even at this age, I looked at that and I'm like, that rules
so hard.
So far. And then I'm thinking about like when I have a kid, like if my kid had a poster like that, it's this weird thing where it's like,
would you wait a minute.
So society tells you you're supposed to be like, son, you're not supposed to have, but like I couldn't not walk in there and go, nice, dude.
What the fuck? That would be the best thing to hear from my dad.
Yeah.
If I had a fucking dude, there was a kid on my street when we were in elementary school. He was probably like, we were in 4th or 5th grade. He had a poster in his room, framed, which I think is also funny that it was framed. Framed poster of 5 women in the back of a pickup truck with their Daisy Dukes down with thongs, different colors, and on the back of the fucking tailgate of the truck it said "haulin' ass."
Wait, framed?
Framed. Which is amazing.
And what year was this? Because you had to go, you probably had to go to a guy or like a lady to do that.
Dude, it was a
you had to tell
poster.
her, like, be careful with it.
And
this is my favorite picture.
You go into his room and like there's fucking just action figures everywhere. There's fucking Legos and shit. And then you look up and you're like, what?
So here's my one thing where it's like, I think it's super important for parents to not try to be like cool parents. I think that's like the cringe. So, but at the same time, like, it's like you got to find this middle ground where you're like, that rules, but I'm not doing this to try to make you think I'm like the cool parent.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I mean, I get what you're saying. You're walking a line.
Like the cool parents who are trying to be like, oh, I'm just like fun like you. That's
weird.
The cringiest shit.
That
in the
is
world.
weird. People who are like super best friends with their mom or their dad. Are like,
yeah,
very odd.
But I couldn't in good conscience like be upset about that.
That's the whole thing.
Because if my kid had that poster of Trish Stratus, I'd be like, yes, dude.
It'd be well. No, here's what I'm gonna say.
First off, straight as hell.
Yeah.
And second off, I'm just like, oh yeah, and he likes the best ladies.
So here's the thing. It'd be different. It would be different if you bought him that poster.
Yes, that would be.
If you bought
that would
him,
be weird.
That's where you're going into the cool parent thing. If you bought your son or daughter Trish Stratus, which is even more nice. If you bought your son or daughter a Trish Stratus poster and it was like her doing frog butt on the beach, that's where
frog butt.
That's where you are like, you're going out of your way to be like, yo, I'm just like, I know my son likes this shit.
Cool, dude.
But if you went into your son's room,
yeah,
like, you know, to talk to him, you know, like, hey, dinner's ready, and you saw a fucking nice ass on the wall.
Dude. Oh, dude, it would get me so hyped.
Yeah, dude. Do you know where? That's the day I take my son to the hospital for breaking his arm with the high five I did. I fucking
yeah.
He's like, what happened? He's like, did your dad beat you? He's like, no, he high fived me so hard.
That's when I realized my father-in-law ruled. Shout out to my father-in-law, because it was early into dating my wife, and we went over to her parents for like a party or whatever, and they have like a, you know, decent, like a separate garage, decent sized garage. So we go into the garage and I'm just standing there drinking. And then I look over to the right and I go, is that a Jenna Jameson poster?
Yes.
And then I look closer at it and I go, that's an old Jenna Jameson poster. Like, that's been up in the garage like since my wife was a kid. I was like, yo,
that is sick.
I was like,
dude.
your stepdad rules.
That's like the best thing, is coming across a garage with old fucking or like centerfolds that are kind of just like haphazardly pinned to the wall.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, because he's like a blue collar dude working with his hands, and he's just out cutting wood, and he looks up, he's like, yeah, nice titties,
yeah,
Jenna.
Dude, it's like, you know, like you probably hit your finger like, motherfucker. Oh, I don't want to offend my ladies.
Oh,
I don't want to
gotta keep my cool.
I gotta keep my cool. There might be hot, juggy chicks somewhere.
Jenna always reminds me there's something better out there, so I gotta keep my cool.
You know, sometimes I'll be working on my engine. I'll hit my fingernail, it might come off, and then I look at Jenna and I remember she had 3 dicks in her ass. And I'm like, there could be worse things.
If she could handle that, what am I doing bitching about my finger? And she didn't bitch when her asshole got stretched.
You know what? It's like, you know, you could bitch to, you know, there's 2 people you don't bitch to. You don't bitch to vets, and you don't bitch to Gemma Jameson about her butthole, man. I fucked up my finger, sure. But did she take a load on her face for my enjoyment? She's a patriot. She's a goddamn patriot. And that's why, like, dude, when you go into garages like that, those are like, that's the worst part about this generation coming up, man. You're never going to see that anymore.
What?
Cool garages are done.
Well,
it's up to us to keep it together.
Well, no, it was the problem. It's the biggest problem was demonizing the man cave. Because it's like, I know the name is cringe, but you need that. Well, as a dude, you need that. They need to figure out like a better name, because here's the thing. Here's the thing with life. Life is really based off the vibe and who controls the vibe.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Vibes. Life
is really based off the vibe. It's not so much, it's not like facts and shit are important.
Sure.
But a lot more people care about like, wait, is a large group going to call me gay? Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't care about your facts. I don't want to be called gay by strangers.
By strangers.
I don't want people I've never met to think I'm gay. So that's like, there was a lot of damage done when they demonized the man cave. And because it used to be a fucking den.
Yeah, it used to be a den.
Call it a fuck. Like, can we go back to the den or the garage?
Garage is great. I would say if I'm going somewhere where there's a lot of porn around, I call it my beat laboratory. Get in there fucking making Swizz beats, dude. Fucking get it in. But like, I would love a garage, even if you know what? I would love a garage with a car in it that I don't even work on. Just go in there and just kind of like, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, that's also too with the rise. That's also too with the rise of everyone being so fucking autistic, and it's not their fault. We're on our phones all day.
Yeah,
they're putting stuff in the food. You know, all that. What was that? That one lady on Rogan. She's like,
the food.
That one lady was on Rogan. She's like, yeah, we're all getting plastic in us, and we got these small ass taints. That's why we're pussies. You didn't see that lady on Rogan?
Small ass taints?
Yeah, microplastics apparently
are making our taints smaller?
And there's a link between having a small taint and being a bitch. And there's a lot of
You know what, Andy? You need to hang on to your gigantic balls. Is what you need to do.
And that, with me and my big old balls, that's why I'm a fucking man.
I don't have a fucking small taint. Fuck you. We got to take calls. You ready for fucking phone calls?
Yes, dude.
God damn. Let's listen to some messages. Hope we get some fucking taint messages, dude. Fuck.
Hi, I have a little ass taint and severe autism. Can you help me?
I don't know what to do.
These aren't live, right? They're pre-recorded.
No, they're pre-recorded. They're just like, answer machines.
Oh, nice.
And I don't listen to them, so I have no idea. I swear to God, if this is about microplastics, I'm going to lose my mind. Boo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. Come on, Danny.
What happened?
I don't know. This is a problem, everybody. I know. It's like, we're all autistic. Danny's autistic. I'm autistic. Malafarina's got gigantic balls.
Everyone's autistic. No one wants to be gay.
No one wants to be gay.
That's being an adult. Being an adult is realizing you need to be gay when it's important to be gay.
Can you put that on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
That's a sweet ass shirt.
I'll just copy my tattoo I have.
50 years old. How many fifths should a 50-year-old be drinking in 1 week? And then my other question is, how many full doses of mushrooms should a 50-year-old be eating in 1 week? Thanks a lot, bud. Love your podcast.
Okay, so wait, that was a little cut off in the beginning. Was that a guy?
How many? He said how many?
I got a couple questions about intoxication. 50 years old.
50.
How many fifths should a 50-year-old be drinking in 1 week? And then my other question is, how many full doses of mushrooms should a 50-year-old be eating in 1 week?
I like that part.
Thanks a lot, bud. Love your podcast.
Would you know he's fucking fucked up on a fifth right then and there? He's like, dude, drinking mushrooms.
That dude's got a whole fifth and a big handful of mushrooms in him in that moment. Without doubt.
One, I will say, I am pumped to know that someone possibly 50 years old listens to this show. That is pretty fucking great. I hope that guy has a garage with the Jenna Jameson poster in it right now.
That's pretty sick. Yeah,
that's fucking sick.
I hope he's listening to this staring at his Jenna Jameson poster, working on a wood project he has no plans of finishing.
That would be fun. He's got a dollhouse that he'll never get back to. He's like, I started it.
I gotta watch some more YouTube videos on hinges.
I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
One day when I get my daughter back.
But he's been working on it to get custody.
He takes the dollhouse to the court.
He's like, look what I've been doing.
Would a bad father be able to make this?
Look
Your
at
Honor.
this.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. Perfect electricity in there. There's 2D batteries.
We've segued him into every version of trash voice.
Oh man,
he started as a hick and now now he's just like in bulk from Baltimore.
So 50 years old. How many fifths should be drinking a week? Well,
how big is a fifth? Is a fifth like the?
It's a regular bottle.
That's the regular bottle. Okay, yeah.
So when I was at, the height of my drinking, I was drinking about 3/5 a week, which is gross.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. Looking back, honestly, on how much drink that's the worst. That's like one of the worst parts about being sober. Is like looking back and like, I can't, but saying you're like, oh my God.
Dude, that's my
disgusting.
biggest thing in general is I've been working on is like you just go throughout your day And you have that like bad memory that just shows up.
Yeah.
And like to be able to be like, all right, okay, and please go away.
Yeah.
To be able to push past that. Because it's brutal.
The worst part is like when I was drinking, I didn't think, I didn't even start like calculating it until like it was getting to a point where I was like, man, I am drinking. Like even when I was drinking, I was like, man, I'm drinking a lot. And then I realized like within a day, when you drink like a bottle of whiskey in a day, most people are like, that's a lot. But in my head, I'm like, dude, that's like 3 movies. Just shut up. It's like shut up. Like if I'm having a good time on my day off, so for 50, I would say how many fifths a week? I would say, honestly, I think anybody, if you're drinking more than a fifth a week, you're probably going into a red zone that you probably should think about.
I would say, and this is being generous in my opinion, you should probably not go more than half of a fifth.
Yeah, probably.
A week.
Probably.
Because it's like I think in a responsible way, you could probably get away with drinking a little every day and then giving yourself one night of the week to get a little.
If you only have one glass, if you only have one whiskey on the rocks a week, you're probably all right.
You're fine. Don't listen to Andrew Humberland or whatever, because he'll probably tell you that, however the fuck you say his name, he'll probably tell you to be like, so I did all the tests and it looks like fun will shorten your life, but it's like, all right,
what a fucking fruit. Shut up.
Stop being right about everything.
Yeah, man, I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear that shit.
Exactly.
But again, it also, now, when I was drinking, people were like, well, weren't you just drinking whiskey on the rocks? I'm like, yeah, but it also depended where I went. Because if I went to certain bars and I was like, yo, can I have a whiskey on the rocks? It wasn't like the normal pour of whiskey.
Yeah.
It was a fucking bowl of soup.
Yeah.
And you just fucking got, like when you say you have 3 6-ounce pours.
Yeah. No, it matters
It's
the pour.
like it really does. Like you can go through a bottle fairly quickly if you're at the right place at the right time and you're minding your P's and Q's.
No, I was at a bar recently where my friend realized like they were pouring light because he was like 3 doubles in.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, I am fine. And he's like, I don't drink this much. I don't drink that much. He's like, sometimes they pour easy. But
sometimes they don't.
I think a good rule of thumb could be like one or two drinks a night. Give yourself one night for getting fucked up, whatever that ends up being. And then with the mushrooms, I'd say, what did he say? Like a normal dose?
Yeah, what's a normal amount?
I'm not a big mushroom guy.
Neither am I. That's why I was relying on you on this. I was I fucking don't even know.
Well, let me clarify. I'm very pro mushrooms, but I just don't.
I'm not anti-mushroom either.
No, I didn't say what.
I'm not gay, dude. Fuck you. I'm not anti-mushroom.
But from what I've gathered in my research, I feel like you should limit we're gonna party dose like once a month.
Now to you, what's an we're gonna party dose? Like I don't even know what a party dose is.
Yeah, I think like last time I've done it once, and I think I did like 1.5 grams. That's like a small amount, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a fine. Like if you're trying to get thrown into a different dimension, it's 3.5 grams.
Yeah. Okay.
See, now in my head, one you said 1.5 grams is a normal thing.
1.5 grams. I didn't see. Like I didn't like it didn't the shit in front of me wasn't like vibrating or whatever they say, and like the colors were like a tiny bit more vibrant, but it was more a mental thing where I just like everything felt like it could slow down and I had time to kind of just sit there and think clearly about stuff.
Sure.
But from what I've gathered about mushrooms, I feel like what Danny was saying, what'd you say, like 3.5 grams?
Yeah, that's where you're like full different dimension.
Would you say don't do that more than once a month?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, that seems about right.
I'd say like if you're doing it, I can't even imagine doing it multiple times in a week to ask this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people who are like, yeah, I trip like every weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is what kind of shit what job do you have?
Yeah.
Are you working at a cricket wireless store in Kensington where you just like show up every day crushed on mushrooms. It's like, yeah, I don't even know half the time I'm selling things to people. I have no idea.
I think I'm selling jewels to goblins. There's a Cricket wireless cell phone on Kensington.
It definitely is like a fucking Elder Scrolls fucking place. People can be like, I need another phone.
Oh yeah, no, that Cricket wireless is its main clientele is people on side quests.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what it is. That is definitely an Elder Scrolls side quest. And you have to slay another crackhead to get in there. You have to shoot him right through the neck with like a fucking just regular like fucking golden syringe just to get through. Fucking like you gotta find it.
You have to find the golden syringe to take out the final boss.
You found the golden syringe. But I would say, yeah, okay, a gram and a half once a week, and then you have your party dose once a month.
Yeah,
there you go. And again, I've never been 50. I can't say what is the right thing to do and what the wrong thing to do is. But I would say maybe a fifth a week, a gram and a half a week, and then once a month.
Oh yeah, and we should also say, because this dude's clearly doing multiple fifths a week.
Yeah,
he's doing multiple big ass doses a week.
You didn't call with this question because you're on the right path.
So I would say definitely, wean yourself off. Let's try to go.
Well, you know what I'm thinking. So were you drinking when you did mushrooms, Andy?
I wasn't like hammered, but because when I did them, actually, this is a good plug for the Patreon. I did them for the first time on the Patreon.
You did mushrooms for the first time?
Patreon.com/PITM. Yeah, it was on the and it actually timed out real well because I took it at the beginning of the ep, and then I swear Nate knew by the look on my face. About 57 minutes in, Nate's like, "How you feeling?" I was like, "I think the episode's over.
I think it's pretty good."
Oh, and then the best part too is we go out and Lemaire wanted to go. He's like, let's go to the city and walk around and look at the lights. I was like, this is my first time. I'm going to sit on Nate's couch.
That sounds terrifying.
So we put on the TV and Nate and Lemaire immediately started playing Forged in Fire, where if you don't know, they make knives and swords, and then to test them, they start hacking up dead pig carcasses. And I was like, can we watch something a little more pleasant? It was like scaring me.
Can we put on Kentucky Fried Movie and just play the Daredevil thing
just play the
over and over again?
That'll really calm me down.
Something to get me in my center, please.
Oh, but I was drinking, but I wasn't hammered.
Gotcha.
So I think hallucinogenics kind of wipe out the alcohol. Like it takes over your fucked upness. So he might be drinking so much because he's taking so many mushrooms.
Yeah, I see what's going on there.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't think about that science either. Damn. All right.
Oh, shit.
So cut out the drinking. So don't drink when you're taking mushrooms.
Yeah.
And only drink a fifth a week. A fifth a week, gram and a half a week. And then when you're ready to party once a month, 3.5 grams of mushrooms.
Yeah. Now, would your guys' opinion change if he was like, I'm 50 and I'm retired?
Then I say, do whatever the fuck you want, dude.
Then I say, fucking, yeah, dude.
I would say, honestly, what I'm going to say is get a 3.5 grams, and then I want you to find a helicopter and get fucking...
Go on missions.
Dude, get a DU fly. That's what I fucking want. I want you to get somehow pulled over in the sky. Somehow to just get like, was like, is that a guy in a fucking helicopter? And you have fucking 2/5 and you're like fucking. Someone's like, that guy is like, dude, just to get pulled over by a cop and then have your excuse be is like, I'm retired, officer.
I'm retired.
Sorry, officer. I think you need to back up. I'm retired. I'm not going to lie to you.
And the cop's like, even with that, you are past the retired limit of doing mushrooms.
Yeah, you can't. You're too retired to do mushrooms. I don't think that exists. But I will say, again, I'm telling you what to do. I'm not a doctor, so don't do anything I'm saying. But I'm saying I think the good rule of thumb is a fifth a week, a gram and a half a week of mushrooms, and then when you're not drinking, 3.5 grams of mushrooms to take you to planet X or whatever you want to go to.
I would co-sign that.
I'll also say, if you're with your wife or husband or anybody else, I would say do it by yourself. That's what I'll say. I don't think if anybody else is going to be along for you that journey, I think they're going to. What I found with doing drugs and drinking, people coerce you into doing more than you ever should do. I will say that much. Because there are times where I'm like, I don't want to drink that much. And then someone's like, yo. And I'm like, fuck, I guess.
Oh, 100%. Because I'm pretty good at like saying no to that shit that I don't want to do. But at the same time, I've been there a million times where a lot of people who like to get fucked up, they do not like getting fucked up by themselves.
Exactly.
They need someone on the same level as them,
Yeah,
which I
dude.
never fully got.
I never got it.
Because like everyone, I'm like, dude, everyone's like self-conscious about being the first one to crack a beer at a party, and I'm like, no, I want the beer. I will go crack a beer. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So I don't need someone to be
I've
on.
been the first one to crack a beer at a funeral. It's fucking, dude, it's just like, if it's there.
No, and funeral drinking is underrated.
Dude.
The best party. Yo, shout out Ann, my great Aunt Ann. The best time drinking I ever had.
Dude.
Yeah, she's way up there, baby.
That
best
is
time
sick.
drink, because it was a bunch of cousins that we all just being older, and like some of them live in Florida, some of them live wherever the fuck. Like you don't see each other that often. It was like the best fucking party ever.
It's sick shit because, like, honestly, at a funeral or any type of like a wake or a reception after the funeral, everyone is in this space where they're like, you know, I just want to, like, you know, remember how I can. I want to mourn how I can, but I'm with my buddies.
Yeah.
I'm with my family. This is like the last party for this person.
And then it's also like, because here's the thing too, is like everyone goes through the day kind of focusing too hard on like, well, what should I be? Like,
Yeah.
or who's the, and it's like in certain moments, obviously that's like a good standard to have so you don't, so the wheels don't completely fall off.
Sure.
But also there's certain times where you just got to be real and you go like, you know what would make everyone feel better at this funeral? A bunch of liquor.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. When I was drinking, I would find out from like either my brother or so, like, especially if it was a funeral for like a family member, I would like ask like, do I have to say anything?
Yeah.
My biggest thing is like, do I gotta talk? Do I have to do anything other than react or you know, like be around or interact with like my family? Because if I don't have to go, you should never read a eulogy drunk. That is a good rule of thumb. Don't ever do that. But if I don't have to do any of that shit, I'm like, yo, I'm drinking in the pews, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of fucking.
When you drank, were you self-aware or did you kind of shift into a new guy?
I mean, I was self-aware to an extent, but you know, you always go into this like, so my body would constantly go into it at a certain point into like, you know, autopilot.
Yeah.
So like when I drank, I was a fun guy. I was always having a good time, but then you get, you know, instinctual chainer. And that's the only way to describe that guy.
No, I hear that's
so it's like it's all love, all hate, and all walking around like I'm gonna walk through a fucking wall. And I don't give a shit. If I like you, I really like you. If I've got a problem with you, it's probably not a good time. But I'm also the most, I've found when I'm drinking, or at least according to other people, I'm the most susceptible to suggestion. So like if someone's like, yo man, you should fuck that guy up, I'm probably like, yeah, you're probably right. I probably should. But if someone's like, yo man, you should probably not do that, I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. You're totally right. I can't believe you said that. That's a good idea. But if someone's like, yo man, you should drive this boat, I'm like, I'm gonna drive this boat. You wouldn't even believe it. They're like, no, you should actually jump off this bridge and do a flip. I'm like, you're probably right. I probably could. Dude, I was so easily swayed because I was just like, yeah, whatever we got to do to keep this moving, whatever we got to do to keep this party rolling. But that's why I was also very good at being cut off from bars. I never had a problem. I was never a complaintive drunk at a bar when they're like, you've had too much, because I was like, you're
like, you're probably right.
Yeah, dude, I'd be like,
you're actually probably right about that.
But there's the thing about me getting cut off from a bar. If someone was like, yo, you can't be in here, like, oh my God, you're totally right. Thank you for telling me. I'm going to get out of there. And then I would walk out, but I would go right next door to the next bar. And I'd go in and I'd sit down like, hello, how are you, man? I can't be in here. You know what?
Yeah, you just made me realize that's probably helped me too when I get too drunk is like if I'm hammered, I for a while just had this general sense of like, I'm probably bothering everyone.
Yeah.
So and then you add alcohol on that, and if it was like a thing where if someone was just like, Andy, you're being a lot, I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense what you're saying. I'm probably being a lot right now.
Yeah.
So like it'd be very quick to get me to calm down if I'm drinking. Sure. And in college, well, I know in college I would drink way more liquor and mixed drinks because they'll have like fucking jungle juice or whatever, everyone's version of that. And it would get me so fucking rowdy. And because of that, I switched heavily to like beer and stuff when I got older. And then on beer, because you don't get drunk as quick, I'm like semi-cognizant of, like, I'll always have that moment where I'll go to I'll say a sentence, because there's a difference. I can, like, when I'm hammered, I can scream any sentence perfectly. But if you try to, like, at a normal volume, just say it, and you'll be like, yeah.
When I'm hammered, I can scream anything clear as a bell.
For real, though. I realized it the other day, because I was drunk as hell, and I was trying to just talk, and it was just like, I don't know how to it sounded like, you ever see the girl twirl like the fucking ribbon?
Yeah, ribbon dance.
Yeah. It was like my my words felt all swirly like that. And then I remember being like, that didn't sound like nothing.
That probably was not good.
That didn't sound like nothing. Maybe you should pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, I used to, the one thing that I knew when I was getting pretty tight was when I could feel my face.
Yeah.
When I would get drunk enough where I, like, if I was talking, I could feel it here and here. I'm like, I'm getting a pretty fucked up right now.
Wait, like it would be hot?
No, it would just be like I could feel the muscles moving in my whole face. I was like very like, oh man, I can feel my whole head. And then there would be another time, like if I was peeing, what I would do is, like, if I was just like peeing and like I would like go around the circle, like if I started like playing games when I was peeing, if I started playing pee games in the toilet, I'm like, I'm pretty drunk right now. If I'm doing anything where I'm like, this would be pretty good, I could just go out and tell anybody that I'm the best at this, and they're gonna have to believe me. That's when I know I'm getting hammered. All right, we got another message. We've been riffing on that goddamn fucking
that 50-year-old.
That 50-year-old. I'm glad he's.
Yo, Shana, I was wondering if you could help me with a problem. My dog is like constantly chewing on his foot. He doesn't have like a skin thing, or like there's nothing wrong with his foot, but he just chews on it. Like he puts his whole foot like in his mouth and chews on it. What do you think I should do about that?
So here's what I think. One, limit it to 1/5 a week. 1.5 grams.
Start doing a lot less mushrooms.
Yeah, stop doing.
Are they only allowed to make these calls mid-blackout?
I don't know what's going on. That was great.
Like,
and you know, the funny thing is, I almost could hear in his voice that he was staring at his dog, chewing on his foot at that time. Like, this fucking, I was going to call with an actual thing.
He's just swaying like, this motherfucker never stops chewing on his goddamn
he put his
foot.
whole foot in his mouth. Look at this piece of shit. You know, it's like, you got other things to do. You're going to put your foot in your mouth. And it's like, I can't put my foot in my mouth.
He's calling because he's jealous.
Yeah, he's like, this
Shane, how do I get my foot in my
So
mouth?
here's the thing. I've been taking, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been doing Bikram yoga for a little bit. Maybe, okay. I'm sorry. Listen, so when I was...
Okay.
Look.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. First off, I love you. Thank you. And so my dog, he has this one thing where he sits down and he's like, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, and I'm like, I don't understand why I didn't. So it's like, you know, you get to a point and you're talking to him and you're like, you gotta just stop doing that because you got, you know, fleas.
You know what I mean.
You don't know, man.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yo, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. This dog is fucking me up.
That's a
fucking me up.
That's a question for girls. Girls always have like no, for real. My wife was doing that with our new kitten.
That's a question for girls.
It is. They always know like what animals are fucking not into. No, because my wife did that. She was like, "I'm gonna get this cinnamon spray because cats don't like cinnamon, and they're not." So
What?
I mean, it wasn't cinnamon. It was something else.
Is it? You sure it's not vinegar? Because I know cats hate vinegar.
Maybe it was that. It was something.
They hate it.
Because our cat, we got like my wife buys 80 nice beds for this cat, and the cat's like, I'm gonna go sleep on these clothes.
So wait, how you have one cat?
One kitten, yeah.
You have one kitten, and your wife bought multiple beds for said kitten?
Yeah, because she really wants him to sleep in the bed, and he wouldn't. So she's like, gotta get a new bed. Gotta try a new bed. And I'm like, he's chilling on
Let him go.
Yeah, he like finds this area in the closet to sleep in.
Yeah.
He likes the closet.
That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah. But he's chilling on the cat. But no, it's like there's probably some like weird girl fact that they're like if you dip his paw in fucking apple cider, he won't he won't chew on it.
Dip his paw in apple cider. Just taking your cat like, I'm tired of you doing.
That's why we need to bring back the old nuclear family structure. Because if I'm just chilling there by myself and my dog starts chewing on his leg, I'm like,
I have to go to my wife.
You got to get out of here, dude. You got to get out.
Look, I don't have a lady here to tell me what to do with you. I have multiple questions.
I don't have a lady.
I don't have a woman.
I need okay, I'm going to do 3.5 grams.
Yeah, you know.
I'm going to go do some mushrooms.
Some guy's like, you know what will help me figure out how to get my dog to stop biting his foot? Go into planet Jupiter.
Actually,
tonight.
The best way to get your dog to stop biting his foot is drink 3/5 a week.
Actually, the best way to stop getting your dog to bite his feet is cut those fucking feet off, dude. Cut those fucking feet off of the dog.
My old cat proved they don't need more than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs only need statistically 3 legs.
That's the bare minimum. Animals adapt pretty well.
They do.
When my cat was my last cat, he was down bad before we had to put him down, we're like taking him to the vet, and there's like a dog. You ever see one of those dogs where the back half is real floppy, like it's just the back half? But like you see this dog running around because like they had a little carrier. They didn't get him like the wheelchair carrier,
but they had a little.
They were
thing.
like holding a thing, and you could see on this dog's face, he's like, "My legs don't work. Whatever, dude. I gotta get over there."
Dogs don't give a shit either.
They fucking like dogs adapt so fucking quick to shit.
But I will say, I remember when the pandemic happened, and people like there was a run on adoption for dogs and cats and stuff, and everyone was like losing their mind. Apparently, there was also a higher requests for dogs and cats that were like disabled.
Really?
Like people wanted dogs with 3 legs and cats with 1 eye, or like some sort of like
For the gram.
Without a doubt. For the gram.
Well, dude, they've proven that with a perfectly fine animal, you could just
do anything.
You got to take a cute picture of them every day, add a fun little caption, and now you
got
make
16,000 followers.
Yeah, now you make fucking 40K a month.
Like that. But what I want is you know what? Like I like dogs and I like cats. But in my head, I'm like, oh, they're just good animals. Like nothing's ever like wowing me. But when I see a dog with 3 legs, I'm also not blown away. You know what's really gonna fucking get my goat? Seeing a dog with extra shit. That's what I want. When you're like talking about a dog with 3 legs, I'm like, fuck that. Give me 5 now. If it didn't do anything and it was just like dangling out of the front, I'd be like, that's the fucking dog for me. Give me these fucking hounds from hell.
Dude, it'd be sick too. No, you get like 6 or 7 legs. You get about 3 on top.
Dude.
So if your dog gets knocked over, it's still fucking
It's like,
going.
dude, it's like that fucking RC car that flipped and it just, that would be sick.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god,
dude!
Dog.
Could you imagine seeing a dog running with its legs up and then all like just 3 legs on the back? That would be fucking sick.
Oh, and then the back legs know what to do, so he's like getting his composure, and then the back legs push him up, and he flips, and he just keeps.
Yeah,
moving.
dude, that would be fucking sick. Or like just seeing like a cat with 2 heads. Like a cat with like 2, not like, the 2 faces cats where everyone's like, oh my God, it's like a miracle. I'm talking like where you don't say it's a miracle, you say it's an abomination. That's what I fucking want. I want a cat where someone sees it, they're like, yo, we cannot have this running around. It can't breed. We can't let this get out.
There's like, well, you look at that. The devil's real.
Yeah, oh my God. I want someone.
my God.
Because everyone, when they see, that's the funny thing. When you see a disabled dog or you see a cat born with like some sort of affliction, you're like, oh my God, it's a miracle. It's a miracle that God allowed this animal to live. I want a cat born where someone looks at it and is like, yo, the fucking Beelzebub has touched this animal. And we have no idea what to do with it anymore. That's what I want. I want a literal animal that's like a demon, just like that you can't even like walk. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. I have this dog that he keeps eating his own feet.
But don't worry, they grow back.
It's weird. They grow back. Just taking a dog to a vet and be like, yo, so here's the thing. Turns out my dog has this problem. Like, we've been trying to get him to stop. He's been eating his own stomach. What do you mean? He's like, yeah, he gnaws on it, but then like it comes out and then spiders come out of his eyes. I don't know exactly what that is.
Yeah, he bites his stomach open, and then you remember the end of Drag Me to Hell?
Yeah.
Where it pulls the girl, like hands come up.
Yeah, hands come out
and they
of him.
stitch up the stomach.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like we're just having a weird, just one of those like, yeah, my dog farts bees. Just one thing. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, wait. And give him some cheese. He's going to fuck this place up.
Dude, and also, too, imagine if you had the dog for like 3 years. Because after 3 years, like, he's your boy.
Yeah, he's your fucking boy.
And then he just starts farting bees.
Now, what do you do?
And you protect that dog. You
Yeah.
go against, and then the government's just like, we have to kill that dog.
Oh,
You're
my
like,
God, man.
You're not killing Fido.
You're not.
That's my boy.
Dude, I would honestly, if I found out, again, if someone was like, yo, this dog, everything's fine with this dog, but he has like highly acidic spit, I'd be like, fuck, yes, he does.
Goddamn right.
I'd be like, yo, don't. It's like, yeah, but if he licks you, you will get mortally wounded. I'd be like, all right, well, no licking.
Okay, yeah, we just gotta not lick.
So what I'm gonna do is like, dude, I would have that dog like spitting on steel. I would just be like, you fucking come in my house. See, that's the booby trap. That's the booby traps that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, bring it back.
You can get a dog that spits acid and farts bees. That is what you want.
And you could that'd be a good dog to bring around your enemies. And they're like, oh, look at this pooch. You're like, yeah, give him a good rub. Give him a good rub.
Get a good rub.
Acid on your hand.
Dude, that's more intimidating. Like, some people have like pit bulls. Like, yo, this dog's fucking fierce. And it's like, yo, my dog honestly comes blood. And not regular blood. It crawls away when it comes. Fucking gross the thing blood. It's out of control.
It coagulates and then turns into like a demon mouth. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It opens a portal when it comes every time.
I just ignore the portal.
Yeah, just ignore the portal.
I went in one side, and as I was going in, my skin was coming back, and my hand was turning into. I didn't want that, so I just ignore the portal now,
dude. Or just you know, it'd be great seeing a person walking down the street with a corgi, but then with an eye patch and one of the hook hands, and like just like a very serious limp. You're like, oh my God, what's that? I was like, this fucking corgi did this shit, just like blaming everything. It's like, you would not believe the hell this dog is unleashed.
Oh, but what if the dog like acted like the Warner Brothers frog, and when it was around everyone, it was nice, but you're like, no, you don't realize, like at night when I'm in my apartment, it's literally the devil. Like he starts talking like the dog and Lil Nicky.
Dude, if you go to sleep and all of a sudden you're like, hello, my honey, hello, my baby. Like, no! Fuck no!
I'm gonna take you to hell.
God damn it. This has been the End Podcast with Ryan Shanner. Andy, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me,
We're going to switch it over to the Patreon. Thank you so much for listening. Take at least 1.5 grams of mushrooms a week, and then 1 month, drink 5/5. That's what I'm telling you to do. Thank you so much.